BTS reaction time!
Yeah! Today we got something totally different. It is a speech that RM gave to the United Nations. This is something that's been talked about a lot now. Every time there's some interview that they go through, they always mention how RM, BTS, has actually been at the UN giving a speech. And you know what? We never actually heard this speech.
Right.
So considering like it was such a monumental part of BTS's journey, I wanted us to check it out. I wanted us to enjoy this with you all as well, because I'm willing to bet many people in the army actually haven't heard this either.
Oh, yeah, just like us. So, they're gonna be like with their formal.
They're gonna look like grown men in this. And we're gonna hear RM flexing his articulate speaking skills.
Oh, yes.
Although he did say he was very nervous when he gave this. Quite frankly, I would be very nervous too.
You're even scared when you stand up in front of the class just to do your presentation.
Well, I don't get scared giving presentations. You know why?
Because you practice?
Because I practice, Lunette. I practice and I practice. But if I was in the UN, I probably would pee my pants. I would get nervous.
It's not just people that in there. There's tons of cameras all over you.
Yeah, but you know what's the UN? No one's watching this. You think the younger generation is going to turn into the UN to make their memes and share stuff on social media? It ain't happening. That's the reason why RM's there, to represent the youth, to finally get the young people to care about all the happenings in the world, politics, global situations. That's the point.
Oh.
And
ding,
you know what?
Ding, ding, ding.
Good spokespeople.
Wow, I'm proud for my voice.
All right, let's do this. And away we go.
BTS! I'll be screaming about that.
I know. I'm really glad they didn't let the army in, because they would just be shouting between every other phrases.
UNICEF Executive Director, and all the excellencies and distinguished guests from across the world. My name is Kim Namjoon, also known as RM.
He kind of speaks with an English accent at times.
The leader of the group BTS. It is an incredible honor to be invited to an occasion with such significance for today's young generation. Last November, BTS launched the Love Myself campaign with UNICEF, building on our belief that true love first begins with loving myself. We've been partnering with UNICEF's End Violence program to protect children and young people all over the world from violence. And our fans have become a major part of this campaign with their action and with their enthusiasm. We truly have the best fans in the world.
Shout out to Army!
And I'd like to begin by talking about myself.
Can't take you, army, anywhere.
I was born in Ilsan, a city near Seoul, South Korea. It is a really beautiful place with a lake, hills, and even an annual flower festival. I spent a very happy childhood there, and I was just an ordinary boy.
My God, his English is just impressive.
Yep.
Freaking impressive.
I used to look up at the night sky and wonder, and I used to dream the dreams of a boy. I used to imagine that I was a superhero who could save the world. And in an intro to one of our early albums, there's a line that says, "My heart stopped when I was maybe 9 or 10. Looking back, I think that's when I began to worry about what other people thought of me and starting seeing myself through their eyes. I stopped looking up at the night skies, the stars. I stopped daydreaming. Instead, I just tried to jam myself into the malls that other people made. Soon, I began to shut out my own voice and started to listen to the voices of others. No one called out my name, and neither did I.
Dang! I mean, I can see like Tay V. You see his eyes looking at RM? He was in awe. Like, he was like...
I think all of them were in awe. You could tell.
Yes.
You could tell. It wasn't just like them being quiet, but they were...
No, I know
wow.
everybody...
I can't believe we're here, and I can't believe he's doing this. Like, I can see why they respect him so much as a leader.
Absolutely.
I would respect him as a great deal, too.
Right.
My heart stopped and my eyes closed shut. So, like this, I we all lost our names. We became like ghosts. But I had one sanctuary, and that was music. There was a small voice inside of me that said, wake up, man, and listen to yourself. But it took me quite a long time to hear music calling my real name. Even after making the decision to join BTS, there were a lot of hurdles. Some people might not believe, but most people thought we were hopeless. And sometimes I just wanted to quit. But I think I was very lucky that I didn't give it all up. And I'm sure that I and we will keep stumbling and falling like this.
Wow.
Wow.
I am touched by his message. He includes his backstory from childhood, his dream, and what encourages him to do music.
This is a prime example of someone who knows how to use critical thinking and also emotional resonance, the latch on to people's empathy to think about a problem that as adults you just long forgot. You know, as a child, he talks about it in his own, so he puts himself out there like, that's what I went through. You know, I may be big and famous now, I sell millions, you know, of records now type of thing. But, you know, there's a child in all of us
ordinary
who has,
person.
who makes mistakes, and we have our own fears, and we shouldn't let that consume us. And the truth is, when you're young, that is all you think about, and you have a lot of fears, and it's overwhelming, and it's paralyzing. And overcoming that becomes so important.
BTS has become artists performing in those huge stadiums and selling millions of albums right now, but
Flexing.
I am still an ordinary 24-year-old guy.
Humble flexing.
If there's anything that I've achieved, it was only possible that I have my other BTS members right by my side,
And the
because
army.
of the love and the support that our ARMY fans all over the world made for us. And maybe I made a mistake yesterday, but yesterday's me is still me. Today, I am who I am with all of my faults and my mistakes. Tomorrow, I might be a tiny bit wiser, and that would be me too. These faults and mistakes are what I am, making up the brightest stars in the constellation of my life. I have come to love myself for who I am, for who I was, and for who I hope to become.
And I don't know who wrote that speech, but it was
He
really
did.
well put together. It's no wonder he's like rap monster. You know, he's learned to use the language as a tool. He's learned to use words as a way to convey how he says things. That this thing, I mean, you know, you call it rap or you call it poetry. The reality is this speech was amazing storytelling and at the same time a powerful message.
I like to say the one last thing. After releasing our Love Yourself albums and launching the Love Myself campaign, we started to hear remarkable stories from our fans all over the world, how our message helped them overcome their hardships in life and start loving themselves. Those stories constantly remind us of our responsibility. So let's take all one more step. We have learned to love ourselves. So now I urge you to speak yourself. I like to ask all of you, what is your name? What excites you and makes your heart beat? Tell me your story. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your conviction. No matter who you are, where you're from, your skin color, your gender identity, just speak yourself. Find your name and find your voice by speaking yourself. I'm Kim Namjoon and also RM of BTS. I'm an idol and I'm an artist from a small town in Korea. Like most people, I've made many and plenty mistakes in my life. I have many faults and I have many more fears, but I'm gonna embrace myself as hard as I can. And I'm starting to love myself gradually, just little by little. What is your name? Speak yourself. Thank you very much.
Woo! Oh my gosh, Namjoon! Ah, you're so hot on this
Thank you
one.
very much.
Wow.
With so many young fans around the world, it was a pleasure having BTS with us, and I'm thankful that you use your platform and creativity to reach young audiences with positive messages about what it means to be a young person in the world today.
Did these people even realize that was BTS in their
I
presence?
know.
How are you not
Dude.
crowding them, grabbing at them, asking for an autograph?
No, they're just being an adult or professional.
They're being professional.
Professional.
But inside, they're screaming like little
and
fangirls.
especially their daughter or, their children.
I know,
were
right? They're gonna go
probably
home.
like,
Dad, how was work
"Mom!"
today? BTS came by and something like that, and I shook their hands, and they're like, "Wah!"
Oh my God. I'm telling you.
I mean, come on, but straight up here, that was honestly a performance that
From
was
the
better
heart.
than all their other performances. I mean, you think their musical performance is great. This was standing up in front of the world stage, speaking another language. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I could have ever given a speech as good as this. And I give speeches all the time. I spoke in front of conventions of people. I spoke in front of my company for presentations. An amazing speech. I can't. I'm going to give him a clap again.
I can't even. I can't stop but to scream and shout out to all the armies and Namjoon. Now I understand how ARMY keeps saying RM for president.
In some ways, you have to have celebrity quality because then everyone recognizes you. But you also have to have some intellect, some sort of like sympathy and way you connect with people. And he has it. You can tell like he really cares. He's not like the leader of BTS and he's cocky about it.
Oh,
he feels a responsibility. You can just feel it the way he says this. You know what? I have to get this across because it is my responsibility. He talks about that, how it's also BTS's responsibility.
Right. Oh, it's beautifully. How do you say that?
I don't know. Ask RM. If you're ever one of those situations where you're just down on yourself and you want inspiration, don't just listen to BTS's music.
Watch this.
Watch this.
Watch this video.
Because he talks about it in such a succinct way. It's 7 minutes of your life. Save this, bookmark this. You can bookmark the original, or you can bookmark our reaction version, watch it again and again. I'm just saying you can just subscribe to us and do it. It doesn't matter either way. The point is that use this as a constant reminder to get over those hurdles in life. And hey, just like anybody else, just like BTS, we all have to go through it.